It's Friday! Grab Ass Fridays, Grab Ass Fridays. Today's Grab Ass goes to Dan Harris, the blogmaster at China Law Blog. He's also one of the partners at Harris & Murray in Seattle, Washington and Qingdao, China. Now, I'm not a lawyer and I don't purport to be one. I'm not a paralegal. I wouldn't consider myself somebody who's an expert in the law. But somebody like Dan Harris, he makes it easy for laymen to understand the law. Both on the US side and internationally, they're a boutique international law firm with all kinds of personnel. They deal with all kinds of cases. Japan, Russia, China, United States, Canada, you name it, they're on top of it. Dan's blog is simply extraordinary. It's been around for years. People know it. All you gotta say is China Law Blog and everybody knows what you're talking about. Any case of note that deals with law in terms of doing business in China, whether it's original equipment manufacturer contracts, non-disclosure agreements, non-compete agreements, employment contracts when you hire Chinese employees, investment strategies, fraud, litigation, dealing with intellectual property rights, getting Chinese partners, joint ventures, wholly foreign-owned enterprises. Any of those concepts, you want to go up to Dan and his partner, Steve Dickinson, who operates mostly out of Japan or Qingdao in China, and you want to ask these guys. They are just extraordinary. I like Dan because I consider him a mentor. He's somebody that I just like to talk to about a lot of different things. He's the inspiration behind a lot of the blogging that I do with respect to China, or whether it's the DPR Korea. He's the guy that really sets the tempo for a lot of the stuff that's interesting in China. He is voracious. Now, I don't like that cliched word, but it is true. Dan reads everything. He is completely on top of the Chinese blogosphere. Anything that is going on in China that is of note, Dan knows about it. And if he doesn't know about it, his downline knows about it, and they let him know in turn. He's a really nice guy. He's always on television. He's always being asked for quotes, whether it's MSNBC or Salon or any one of the top pundits, Forbes, the BBC, The Guardian. They come to Dan and they ask him questions. And he always has time for people. And he always gets back to his mail and his Twitter feed. The guy is amazing. Dan, I think you are the best. And if you weren't around blogging about the stuff that you do, and occasionally you go off and you talk about baseball or movies or stuff that is of complete interest to you, it just wouldn't be the same blogosphere, and I wouldn't have, I would say, the same, not motivation, but it wouldn't be the same kind of healthy competition, a desire to impress, a desire to show you that whatever you have instilled within us, that we are coming back to you with an equal amount of expertise and just the sheer voluminousness of the stuff that you put out. If we can even meet you at that level, maybe one day we ourselves can receive the grab ass. This one goes out to you, Dan Harris, ChinaLawBlog.com, Harris and Murray, or at Dan Harris on Twitter. The guy is a dude. Dan Harris is a dude, and if your kids don't appreciate you for being the dude that you are, I'll have a chat with him and we'll set him straight again. By the way, you might have some free time, so you might want to check out that show. My name is Adam Daniel Mezei, AdamDanielMezei.com, or PMDforHire.com. A little weekend dispatch from the Golden City. And by the way, have you ever realized that the spires on the Lady of Our Teen Church here in Prague's Old Town Square look exactly like the spires on the LDS Church in Salt Lake City? What's going on there? Wishing you the best of things.